meeting.
We have a restream link. Let me know for our chat.
Yes. Okay. So it looks like we are live, at least on Restream. Yep. It's looking good. Let's get you a chat link here. The embedded chat link, copy. All right. It's in the Zoom chat for you. Then let's pin some comments. Streaming on Twitch, apparently.
Twitch, huh? All right.
That's last week. I don't want to do that.
No.
Let's go to the real one. I didn't refresh the page. It's fine. There we go. Second here. Whoops. There it is. End on Facebook. And then need to share this to the heroes. Second here. Orders.
There we go. Did you post the link to the forum?
Yes, it's on. Well, it's on Facebook. It's not on
Okay.
YouTube quite
Just
yet.
make sure. Just wanted to make sure.
There we go. Yeah. Posted and pinned in the heroes you. Okay, top over the YouTube. You know, we're getting better at this, but it is still.
Yeah, it's streamlining the live stream.
Yeah. Okay. Posted and pinned. Hello, Banny Bunch. Hello, Heather.
Do you see them chatting? Because I don't see them chatting yet.
Let's see some comments on YouTube. All right, let's get this form over there.
For some reason, the restream is not showing any of their messages.
Oh.
Oh, I see the link you posted now. So maybe you just needed to sync up.
There was let me check restream and make sure we're good. We are early today. We're actually, I guess we're really early, aren't we?
We're a few minutes early.
We are.
The year is 2000.
Sorry.
Oh, hello.
That was our Kickstarter video audio.
Yeah. Hello, Hector. Happy Friday.
Okay. I think we're cooking. We are cooking. Let's get my chat pulled up here. All right, y'all. Well, welcome to Free Journal Friday. There are pinned comments on YouTube, on Facebook, and you can sign up to win a free journal. And last week we had a very exciting but rare double win, which was unintended, but it was exciting.
we allowed it though. Just don't expect it every time.
We allowed it. So please don't try to game the system in the future, which I shouldn't have said that because now people are going to be thinking about it. But
well, you really have to coordinate it. So like you'd have to be like, everyone have to agree. If someone wins, don't say you're there until they start spinning the wheel a second time, and then say you're there.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
Then no one, just don't do that. We're not going to do
that. You guys are good people. I don't think you would use Free Journal Friday.
Hello, Heather. Hello, Wakana. Hello, Suzanne. Hello, Erica. Happy Friday.
Everyone's early as well and chatty.
Well, they see us going live and they join us. It's
cool. That's true. Yeah, we I think the winners last week it's like it was Jeff, and then was it Melanie or something?
Marcy.
Marcy, that's right. I sent them both their free journals earlier this week. So congratulations. And then Jeff was the brag bearer um, this week in the Heroes Guild. So he posted the brag thread. If you haven't hopped on there and dropped your brag for the week or the month, whatever you want. I guess the week is the month. But yeah, drop your brag in there because it's fun to read them. I dropped a brag in there and it makes me, you know, makes me feel like I'm part of a community, which I am.
Yeah,
It's not just about free journals all the time.
that's right.
Okay. Okay. We're gonna try and end this in about 30-ish minutes. Especially because we started early today. Hopefully it's okay, Ryan, that I tell them this, but you
Yeah, of
feel
course.
you're recovering, coming off the end
Yeah, I
cold.
got kind of like a low-level sinus infection all week.
Yeah.
It's been affecting my sleep. I mean, okay, I need to admit something to you, Nick. Part of it, I did not help myself because on Wednesday night
Oh.
I went and waited for a Switch 2 at midnight while sick.
You've been especially quiet this week.
And it was all of that, and I've been playing it the whole time. You saw what I got done. I've not
No,
been
no, no,
shirking
no.
my duties, but
No, that.
it rained for about 2.5 hours in front of the Best Buy. I had an umbrella, I had my raincoat, I had a chair. I was fine, but it probably didn't help my recovery from this cold I have.
Okay.
That said, I got my Switch 2,
Got your
so
switch.
you know what?
That's cool.
It was fun. It was worth it.
No, I'm glad that you told me this
Hmm.
because it actually makes me, proud of you.
Well, I sacrificed my health for my hobbies,
You
but
know,
I guess it shows my dedication. I mean, it was kind of funny. There was at like 11 p.m. like this Best Buy employee came out. I was like, "All right, you guys getting hyped up? You guys ready? Yeah, let me hear you. Make some noise." And he's being rained on. I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "All right, if you love Nintendo, say I love Nintendo." And this one guy in front of me is like, "Dude, you've been in the rain for like 2 hours. Of course we love Nintendo." Like just like that, like in that same tone of voice. It was so funny. He's like, "All right, yeah, point taken."
I didn't think that like midnight lineup product release things still happened.
I mean, with this thing, it was the pre-orders were insanely hard to get. Um,
Is that because of the tariffs or what's the
well,
reason?
and partially it's just like online, like scalpers. It was scalpers because like all the online pre-orders opened up in April,
Mhm.
and it had to be like online at midnight, basically on Target or Best Buy or Walmart or GameStop's websites, and all of them, all the websites completely crapped the bed. There was this completely just chaos. I tried. I stayed up. I could not do it. And then
Whoa.
Nintendo's like, "Don't worry. If you've been a member of Nintendo Online, a subscriber, which I have, we'll email you when you can pre-order it directly from us. No problem."
Okay.
They didn't email me or anyone else I knew. So they're like, "Don't worry. Stores will have them in stock for in-store purchases at midnight." And I hadn't done that since I waited for the Wii back in like 2007, 2008.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right.
And it was during an ice storm. Very similarly, it was during a really bad weather that I waited for the Wii back then. Um,
The pattern here.
but yeah, uh, it's fun.
I love
Um,
that. I I'm sorry
Switch.
that you slowed down your recovery, but
You know what? It's okay. I
I
got my
think
Switch 2. Been playing a little bit of the new Mario Kart. It's very fun. And
nice.
it looks. I got updated. I was able to upgrade my Tears of the Kingdom Zelda. I was
Mm.
able to transfer all my stuff over, and it looks beautiful. I
There's
mean,
a happy ending here.
what's that?
There's a happy ending to the story. And
It
honestly,
is.
recovery, like being like not being really sick, that's rough. But when you feel good enough that you're not like you don't want to die, but you
Yeah.
also you don't like want to go do stuff quite yet. You're in that little pocket where it is good for you to like lay around and kind of play video games and kind of do
Yeah.
nothing. That's like
I still had stuff to do around my house, but like, I tried. I've been trying to relax where I can.
that's good.
Unlocking all the characters and stuff in Mario Kart and just it's a beautiful system. It's basically just the Switch but better and bigger. Like that's all I was hoping for, and that's all it is. So
That was nice.
this is.
I want to hear. I want to turn to the heroes here that
Yeah,
are in the live stream. We technically were. I mean, we were very early today. So
yeah.
what's up, David? What's up? Sky showed up. I think also Victoria popped in.
Hmm.
Hey, everyone. I want to hear from you guys. Have you ever waited in line for like a movie, like maybe like a midnight premiere or a product release?
Or like Black Friday. Have you guys ever
Yeah,
done that? Like stay up late for that?
Black Friday. I want to hear. Maybe, yeah, I want to hear
Like
that. Or maybe
any,
what's the longest you've ever waited in line for for something? A
yeah.
physical line. I think that
I've done a lot of midnight movies when I was in high school. Like with that, when I was in high school, that's when like Episode 3 of Star Wars came out, or when
yeah,
the Matrix sequels came out. We did the midnights for those. Lord of the Rings, definitely did that.
that's really cool.
We did one. My favorite one though was Snakes on a Plane. It's a movie that no one remembers, but it was a movie that became kind of a meme.
Everyone
It was,
remembers Takes on a
well, if
Plane.
you're around at the time, yeah, it's a movie no one knows about, no one cares about now, but like it was a kind of a meme, and so all these theaters organized like, well, all these people on the internet think the title's funny, let's do midnight releases, and they had a midnight showing of Snakes on the Plane at my local theater, and it was the most fun I've ever had at a movie. People like, there's three people who dressed up as a plane. They made like a cardboard box plane costume. You were just like yelling things at the screen the whole time. There's a part where like, like anytime there's a big anaconda on the plane,
Right.
and like, and there's parts where you see it through its eyes, and that
Mm,
became like this running gag in the theater to yell "Snake Vision" anytime snake came up, and just like when Samuel L. Jackson said the line,
yeah,
"These mother effing snakes on my mother effing plane," it just was just life changing.
that's a great story.
Hmm.
I did a similar thing. In high school, dressed up for a midnight premiere of a movie that did not do very well and is very forgettable, called Clash of the Titans,
Oh, sure, the
which
remake of the '80s movie,
which
right?
is a
Like
remake. It's right.
Perseus story, right?
Yeah, and just like a big old CGI. It's actually not terrible. It's kind of fun. I actually like like the myth, like the I that I like that
Well,
IP.
Greek mythology is cool. I mean,
Yeah,
it's hard to. I mean, I feel like that's kind of a recipe for cool stuff in a movie if you have Greek
I
stuff.
mean, I'll tell you this. It's perfect for a boy in high school to see at midnight, dressed up, just
Like a
vaguely Roman, just like in a toga
yeah, toga. Yeah, I was about to ask what was the costume.
or
What,
just that's why it was so funny, is it was like it's just like me and my friends were like, we should put togas on and go see this movie. And then we just
that's
like
fun.
did.
Just did.
Else was dressed up.
Why
And
not?
it was just,
It was fun. You have a story now.
I had like a fake little pirate sword. I don't know. The silly things we do. All right, I want to read some of these. What
Let's
else?
see. So people wait in line for Harry Potter. I did that with the seventh Harry Potter book. I did the midnight release of that one when Deathly Hallows came out.
That's cool.
Sky, yes, I know Snakes on the Plane is still quoted, but do they people actually see it? I don't think so. People aren't rewatching
That's
Snakes on the
fair. I
Plane.
actually think I've ever seen it, but I feel like I have.
Yeah, it's really it's exactly what it says on the title, Snakes on a Plane.
I know. I miss when
Um,
movies had
well,
YouTube.
it was like supposed to be a placeholder title, and then they decided like people like
Really?
the name. Yeah, it got put on IMDb as Snakes on a Plane, and then people like
Oh,
we got to stick with it. Like people think it's too funny. We have to. They had like Cobra Starship to make a song for it and stuff. It's so stupid. Um,
I love it.
Heather is situated in line for the Hunger Games movies and did the double and triple features.
Oh,
That's
that's
cool. Yeah, those go. Those are
Hector, the release of Star Wars Anniversary Edition,
oh, like the special editions. Yeah.
midnight showing of that genie movie with Sinbad.
Okay, you're misremembering. It's Shaq.
Is it
It's Kazam.
Shazam?
People think it's a Mandela effect thing. It's always been Kazam with Shaq. People get mixed up because Sinbad wore a lot of genie pants in the '90s, and then they made College Humor did a skit where they made a video of Shazam with Sinbad to
Hmm.
throw people off.
The crazy thing about this is I get Kazam and Shazam mixed up.
Well, you should because they sound very similar, but
Okay.
one is
They
one is a
announced,
genie, one is a DC superhero.
yeah, when they announced the Shazam movies, this is probably like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, Shaq is like, he's gonna be in, and he was like nowhere in the
No,
picture.
no.
And then like no one was even referencing it. And I was like, Oh my
There's no
god.
genies in this movie at all. It's
Yeah,
just a
oh
kid
my
turns into
god.
a superhero. What
I,
Zachary Levi's in this? Not Shaq? What gives?
oh my god, I'm so off the mark on
Yeah,
this. Yeah.
that's fun seeing Kazam. That's pretty good. Uh,
Ooh, Harry
the
Potter book. I feel like
Yeah, that's what I said for the seventh book. I waited line
oh, that's right.
at Borders Books in my
That's
hometown. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I was in our neighboring towns in Howell. Anyway, whatever. It was fun. Um,
David. I have not seen the original Clash of the Titans, but I heard that I should.
oh, you should
Kind
watch
of
it. It's really it's cool.
like a
It's
special effects.
it's Ray Harryhausen's big. I mean, he had a lot of movies in Hollywood, like Jason the Argonauts and stuff like that. But like that, his stop motion work in that one is
That's right.
chef's kiss. Really good.
I love it.
And also, there's a little clockwork owl called Bubo who's very cute. I'm not sure if Bubo shows up in the new one because I haven't seen the new one, but
Uh,
Bubo's pretty cute.
wow. Okay. So Julia hopped in here. So episode 7, 8, 9 for Star Wars Midnight Premieres.
Yeah. See, by the time those were coming out, our theaters were all like, we have 7 p.m. showings, like the
Yeah.
night. They started being like, oh, people are old. They can't stay up this late.
Or kids, you know.
Yeah, which is I was fine with. It was great to be able to like go to a movie at 7 p.m. that was coming out the next day. They did it with all the Marvel movies too. I remember going to a few of those like 7 p.m. day before showings for like the Avengers and
I
um
disagree. Maybe this is just me being a night owl, but I feel like there is something special about like it comes out at
it,
midnight,
it's better. I think it's more fun. It makes it more of an experience.
but it is logistically probably,
But I mean, just as far as my sleep schedule, it's better to go
especially
midnight.
the people that have to work at the theater.
Yeah.
That sucks for them.
So
So
Akana did Black Friday to get 3 Game Boy Advances on sale. That's a good reason to stand in line. But Game Boy Advance is a really good system.
that's cool.
One
Did
of the
you sell
best
them? I mean,
handhelds.
is there a reason you bought three? I'm assuming
Well,
you.
3 boys, right?
Oh, did
For
maybe.
boy, or for her boys and me. She put in
Oh,
parentheses old, but come on, Makana.
that's
You,
pretty.
that's a very sweet story.
Game Boy Advance was a great.
I put so many hours into like Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. I was talking about that the other day. My God,
Really good
every
one.
trip I went on, it was like tactics, baby. Um,
Hector waited 4 hours in line to meet Steve from Blue's Clues,
wow,
which is crazy.
that's
Um,
cool. I mean, I'd like to
he-
meet Steve. Maybe not for 4 hours, but you
he's
know,
like a millennial saint, I would say. He's kind
yeah,
of like he's in
kind of,
our pantheon
yeah.
of saints for millennials.
So Akana said they did a midnight release for Skyrim Collector's Edition at GameStop. It was a hoot, so much fun just hanging out with fellow geeks. I think sometimes it's the crowd you're with that makes it better, right?
Yeah,
I feel that. Like if I was not like if Snakes on a Plane did not have everyone in on the joke, it would not have been a fun experience. It would have been stupid. But like if you have something like that, like a gaming thing where like everyone's there for the same reason, they're all hyped for it.
yeah.
I probably would have had a I think my Switch 2 wait would have been better. Was it not raining? We could actually like talk to each other. It's not have umbrellas over our heads and have to like,
Yeah, it wasn't
I talked
dangerous.
a little bit with the lady next to me. She was like talked about her dog named Celebi, who's a Saint Bernard, which I thought was pretty cute.
That's pretty
But
cute.
yeah, yeah.
I think I waited in line for Halo 3. In fact, I definitely did.
Oh, nice.
That was a cool moment because
Yeah.
I was in middle school. I was like
Oh,
probably
sure.
too young. Like my mom dropped me and my friend off and then picked us up at like 2 a.m. or after
Wow.
we got the game. And I remember just being like, oh my gosh, like we're up so late. Like we have to play it right now.
Well,
Just
you gotta you stay up late.
that
You can't wait
excitement.
till morning.
Yeah. Oh man. Good times. I miss and now being now that we're kind of on the other side of it, like we make products that we take a long time to make and then we tease and then we release them. Like
Hmm.
it's like this funny, it's this like very precious relationship, I feel like, between like being a customer or something that you like that you want to support, and then being the person that's like trying to release it. It's like this interesting dynamic that I don't know. I'm always trying to think about how to make it special for especially for, people of the Heroes Journal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is we are going to do a physical handout of our next journal.
That's right. Everyone, we're gonna do a
It'll
midnight
be in
release.
Michigan
We're gonna
in
wait in line.
January.
If
So you
you
got to wait in the
if you're
freezing.
in yes, if you're in line, stay in line. It'll be worth it.
Who
People talk
loves
about
Heroes Journal?
woo, as they
Yeah,
all get frostbite and
right.
Yeah, Joe Butterwitz brings up of course, waiting in line at theme parks. Yeah, Disney World, Space Mountain. Like waiting in
Mhm.
line for theme park rides can often be insanely long.
It's true. Don't get me started on the whole fast pass.
Yeah. Do you remember when we went to Universal and Kiara hooked us up with that magical ticket that got us on the Hagrid right
Yes.
away? That was amazing.
Thank you for bringing that up. I don't
Yeah.
usually, yeah, usually Kara hops into the live streams, not all the time, but um, yeah, our when we first met as like a company, I don't even, this may have been like 2022,
Yeah.
2021.
It was
Uh,
it was, we were still wearing masks. It was post pandemic, but yeah.
yeah, this is when we were still doing Comic Cons. We went to MegaCon as a team, like ran the booth together, did some like, company planning. And then we also went to Universal and like one of the incredible heroes here does work for Universal or something.
She at the time she was an employee at Universal. She was like doing,
That's
she
right.
was like
Like a photographer, I think.
photographer. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
she gave us these like VIP passes for it was a pretty new ride. It was like
Well, it
Hagrid's.
wasn't even, it wasn't for that ride. It was just any ride. She told us like these are tickets you could just show to any ride, and
That's
they will
right.
walk you to the front. It's not a fast pass; it's its own thing.
That's
There's
right.
no line, and so we wanted to go on the Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure, which is the new roller coaster there
Yeah.
in Harry Potter Land. And we just flashed these, and the computer like, right this way, sir, right this way. Like
Yeah.
it was so cool. We got to go like behind the scenes almost.
They're like,
Yeah, it was like I think they don't give these out to everybody, and so
no. It's probably like
no.
that's
So our girl Kiara hooked us up big time. It
I
was
know. I feel like
awesome.
I was a celebrity for like it was cool. They take you to like the
Like we didn't get to see the, everyone's like, oh, the queue is so cool in that ride. It's like I wouldn't know. I didn't see it. I saw the backstage.
yeah.
Yeah,
That was a great ride. I love that
I
roller.
think it's my favorite ones that we rode. Yeah,
You would
everyone.
just ride the Velocicoaster at like 8 a.m. or
That was
something.
our first thing we rode. Yeah, that was awesome. Woke us up good. Uh, People dunking on Michigan in January, and yes, you're right. You should
I'm
dunk on
sorry.
Michigan in January. That's my birthday is, and it's cold as heck every year.
Oh, man,
When
I
we're
feel
at,
really bad.
but Michigan's fine. It's a fine place to live. Don't worry, Suzanne. We don't go to Ohio here either, unless we're going to Cedar Point.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
not going to do a physical pre-order of the Heroes Journal. Sorry, guys.
No,
Um,
no.
maybe one day we'll do like a special in-person event, but
Do like
not
a pop-up store or something. Sell a
that would
bunch
be
of
fun. It would
yeah.
be fun to do like
We,
a
I
little
remember when you guys were doing cons, we were talking like, oh, we should set up like a make our booth into like a tavern. That'd be cool.
yeah.
Have some like some like immersive stuff.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
one of the proudest things about that I one of the things I'm most proud of, that's what I should say, about the Heroes Journal is we have never taken on outside capital. Like I love that it's all fully bootstrapped. It's been totally funded and paid for people that have bought Heroes Journals.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm proud of that. But I'm also like sometimes like, man, I wish that someone would just give us like $1 million. So then we could go make these obnoxious giant, you know,
Immersive
like
nonsense.
yeah, immersive
Yeah.
taverns at like, LA Comic
Convention.
Con or something, or I guess San
Yeah.
Comic Con. But that's
It's
just it's so expensive.
yeah.
And I'd rather put money into Ryan's pocket
Well, thank you. Thank you.
to make a new journal than to,
We can have the interactive tavern in our minds as we read through the journals and become immersed
well,
in the worlds we're creating for
we do
something.
have a virtual tavern that we call the Heroes Guild, which I
That's
feel like
true. We do. We do have
kind
that.
of
That's very similar, isn't it? And
yeah,
much cheaper.
and much cheaper and easier to interact with.
Yeah.
Uh,
Nova Pax, Columbus is okay. I've been to Columbus before. And what I liked a lot was Cleveland. I went to Cleveland for a wedding a few years ago. It's awesome. It's a great little city. It's cool stuff. Or
Andre
Cincinnati. It was
Hobbit
Cincinnati.
said,
Where'd I go? It was Cleveland. It was Cleveland. I went to Cleveland. It was good. Um, anyway, Cedar
I like
Point's
this
good.
idea. Andre Hobbit said, what if we could do it at like a local independent bookshop?
Yeah.
Um, that'd be fun to do a release that way.
Yeah.
It- the question is like, where do you, I guess you have to take a vote and then maybe find the most equidistant local
Most centralized
bookstore.
location. Yeah, probably like Kansas or something, the middle of the country.
You have to drive like 8 hours or something.
Jeffrey says we
Um,
need a neurodivergent, nerdy investor. It's true. I heard one
mm,
just had a major breakup very publicly. Maybe he could throw some money at us.
Yeah, if anyone can get us in contact, you know,
Once he's off the ketamine, um,
yeah, I don't know. That would
wait,
be, I don't know. We talked a lot of crap about Elon Musk. It feels wrong to take money from him at this point.
that's okay.
Yeah.
I'd love to take
That's
his
okay.
money. I would love to take his money. Give me all of his money.
You know what? I don't want to be too spicy on today's live stream,
No,
but
I know.
I well, I'm gonna pivot, but it's still gonna be we're still gonna be spicy here for a second. So I got an email this morning to like our general inbox from like a therapist who works with children, and she's praising like the Hero's Journal for its concept and its philosophy and its kind approach, but then pointed out like, hey, you have a lot of quotes, not a lot. You have like I think you said 7 quotes from uh, J.K. Rowling, and then
Yeah,
a few from Neil Gaiman,
yeah,
who have
yeah.
recently, you know,
He had
come.
some. Yeah, he's got. Yeah, yeah. We talked about this on stream, didn't we?
I think we did last week, and
Yeah.
now that's kind of come back around. Because anyway, she ended her email being like, "Are you going to continue to like print
Hmm.
stuff in the future?" And it wasn't like threatening; it was just like curious, and it got me thinking. I was like, "Man," and I don't know, maybe I don't need, and we don't need to make a decision about this today because
Yeah.
we're also not doing books anytime soon. But I was like, is it the right thing to like kind of go back and just scrub like any fingerprints from this? And this isn't me saying this isn't me agreeing that we're gonna do it or not, but I do want to throw it to y'all. Like what do you guys think? And maybe Ryan, I don't know if I
I
know
mean,
I heard a
I
little
think
bit.
it would be that hard to replace quotes. I think for our maybe in our next printing, our next edition of it, I think that would be a very good thing to do. I think
Yeah.
I I think I would feel better as well having taken those out. We can't go through and like, you know,
Mm,
sticker over the ones we have already printed, of course. We've already those already exist in the world.
yeah.
But if we were to make another run of these, which again we tend to restock fairly often, just it wouldn't be that hard to update the file and just have it cleaned
Mhm.
up of again, but the issue is like when does it stop? That's what I run into. Because even Joseph Campbell, the
Yeah,
guy our thing is named after, had some pretty gnarly ideas. Um,
that's
it
true.
wasn't all like, like the fundamentals of storytelling. It was he had some opinions, we'll say, on other cultures. So um
It's tricky.
so like it's like where do you stop? Right? Where how far do you go with it?
Do you
At
think
some point it's gonna be like no quotes. No one's quoted in this thing because everyone's secretly a bastard. You know.
yeah, you write the quotes. You're the hero.
Yeah, yeah. You make up your own quotes. Quote your friends. Put your friends in here. If they suck, erase them. It's fine. Write it in pencil.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, well, let me ask, you this, Ryan, your thoughts and everyone.
Hmm.
Is it the kind of thing that you want to go back and extract from the journal? Or is it the kind of thing where maybe there's a disclaimer in the journal? Maybe there's even a little like insert that comes with the journal, kind of like the bookmark does. And it's like,
Yeah.
hey, we recognize there's a lot of quotes in here, and you know, we don't necessarily agree 100,000% with everything that these people have ever said or done, or
Yeah.
maybe everything they have said or will do. I don't know. Is that worse? Is it better? Is it maybe
Yeah. I mean,
showing
it
attention?
could. I mean, I think yeah. I think that's not a bad idea. Like some sort of like a disclaimer, being like, you know,
Yeah,
um, Novapak's had a good idea of maybe tossing some money from it towards like Trans Lifeline from like IMA, for example. Like it's not a bad idea. Just showing that we do care. We do care. We do care. We care. People care a lot.
yeah,
But yeah. And some people do love Harry Potter, and that they can enjoy the stories without having J.K. Rowling be an insane person affect their feelings about it. That's okay. You
yeah,
know. And none of the money we make from this thing goes towards her anyway. But we are giving her a platform in a small way and reminding people of her work in a small way. So I guess indirectly we are funneling money to her.
yeah.
Like I don't think you'd buy an IMA journal if you didn't already like Harry Potter or you didn't already like the idea
Right.
of a magic school.
Yeah,
Um,
it's true.
Yeah,
You know,
I do try to find someone mentioned I scrolled past it already, but someone mentioned find quotes from like marginalized groups and minorities, and I do try to do that like in our more recent products.
yeah, you
What's
do
one
a
thing
good
people suggested to us is like we've got pointed out to us like there's this many quotes from male writers and characters versus female characters. We're like, oh gosh, that's a huge disparity. So if
yeah,
you look at the quotes in the planner or in GOI, I try to get a lot more female representation
yeah,
as well as like people of color and people from marginalized groups, just because I think that's important as well. So I hear you there, and I think
yeah,
going forward, that's what we try to do. And as far as going back and fixing the old ones, we can definitely do that at some point if we, if there's demand for it. I think it sounds like there kind of is.
yeah.
Um,
It's a touchy subject. I mean, I think even in the comments, there's like
so
even right here. I hope
Jeffrey's
everyone,
explaining marginalized people, people who are on the margins, people who are not white, straight, male, rich people, right?
yeah,
People from groups that have in the past been marginalized, put on the edges of society, made have to fight for their rights to exist. I think that that's how you can kind of define marginalized people, and so I think it's important to recognize they do exist and they're part of society and the world we live in. Um,
yeah. I
and
think
that
that
people aren't part of the majority.
yeah,
Yeah,
our whole thing, I mean, the hero as a concept, the hero's journal is very meta,
yeah,
in the sense that it's a journal about your story that has a story in it that uses the concept or that uses a story structure to like put your goal into it. And so we
yeah,
kind of have like a very meta thing. And I guess all that to say, I think the more stories that we use to like and inject to make the journals and our brand and what we believe, like the more stories we are able to reach out and gather, the popular ones, the ones that aren't as popular, the
yeah,
marginalized ones, I think it makes for a richer, fuller picture of what it means to have like a narrative minded story living approach to being the hero of your life.
yeah,
So
yeah. And I will, you know, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Well said, well said. Yeah, and Wakana's kind of nailed it. You're never going to please anyone. We can change it if we want to, and maybe we will. And maybe just a disclaimer is enough. Put on the website as you buy one, like, hey, just by the way, just so you know, so people aren't surprised when they get it. Like, what the heck? These people are they
yeah.
support this crazy woman. We don't support that crazy woman.
I think I actually like the way, I mean, you said this, Ryan. Maybe this is the way I heard you say it, but you're kind of like, you said I would feel better, like me as a person, I would feel better if we changed. And I feel like that actually is a good, like, North Star for like,
Mm-hmm.
do these things. It's like, because, we are kind of the people producing and making this thing and selling it and putting our stamp of approval on it. I think it's like to
Yeah,
show up to work every day and do good work, have our head in a good space. Sometimes that is the best like compass. It's just like, okay, am I proud? Like, am I proud of this being out in the world, being on shelves, that kind of thing?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for sure.
I would say we'll probably do that when we do
Hmm.
a restock of
I think that's something
Story
that
Magic Academy.
wouldn't be that big of an ask, or at the very least until then, just make sure we let people know.
Yeah.
And honestly, like we obviously Harry Potter is like the big like touchstone for that. But when I was making the journal, I was more thinking about like Little Witch Academia because I
Mhm.
was really into that show when it came out, the anime. Um, I think there's maybe more of that juice. I mean, obviously, like they're very similar stories. A little school for witches where they do magic classes and they fly brooms and stuff. But um, I don't know. I think the way that I conceived of it was a little less Harry Potter and more that. But
Jeffrey did pop in here and said we need some dungeon crawler Carl quotes, and I agree. I
yeah,
think we should include those in
we got
some.
to find ones that are clean.
That's true.
Clean.
It's pretty crass, but it would be a cool thing to quote and then like mail. What's his name? Dinneman, Matt.
Yeah, Matt
Matt.
Dinneman.
Send him a journal. Be like, we quoted you in this, by the way.
I think
He's
he'd
also
appreciate
he's a
that.
the Pacific Northwest guy, so
Yeah,
our
yeah,
roots. Um, Look at us going over time.
that's okay. We didn't. I mean, it's time's just a
Yeah.
suggestion, right?
Uh,
Well, we can get to our brag o'clock. We could get to our wheel of names. I don't know if it seems early to start it, but we did start early. So
It's true. Yeah. Let's do it. Guys, if you haven't yet and you want a chance at a free journal, go to the pinned
other
comment
product.
on Facebook or YouTube. It'll be at the top. And follow the link, throw your name in there, and then we're gonna draw a winner. But first, do something we do every week. We actually do this in the Heroes Guild in our school group. If you want to join that, it's free. There's a brag bearer every week. This week it was Jeff. There's a post pinned in that group where people brag. And a brag is a brag is a brag, meaning if you want to pat yourself on the back for just getting out of bed this week, you should do that, and you can, and it's applauded. Or maybe you got like a new job, or maybe had some huge positive life change or something, or maybe you're just hanging in there. A brag is a brag is a brag. So we're going to read them live for the folks in the in the chat here, because I like doing that. It's good to type it out yourself, to hear it like read back to you, I think, and then have not strangers, other people that are in the guild pat you on the back. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to give away a free journal, and then we're going to all have a really beautiful, good weekend. Yeah.
Yes. You can't see the pinned comment. Can we repin it? So repost it.
I can. Give me a moment.
No worries.
Sorry about that.
While you're doing that, I can start reading brags as they roll in. Oh, hey, James. Happy Friday.
Oh, it's Jay's popped in here. What's up, Jay? Just want to say y'all are awesome. And with all the crazy stuff happening, it's a big deal to still be here with everyone. You know what, James? For those who don't know, James is like he's one of our saints. The history of the Heroes Journal. If you guys have ever written on the reflection sections of any of the chapter breaks, you have read James's writing. So he's a really talented guy, one of the most generous, helpful. He is like a good example for what it means to be an ally. When I think of like, I write down my allies in my journal every day, I'm like, that's a helper right there. We love
the helpers. Yeah.
And he recently has been really busy. I think he had a kid or something. I'm just kidding. Yeah. It's pretty exciting. The fact that you even showed up to say hi means a lot.
All right. Let's start with some brags, eh?
Let's do it. Sorry.
So Victoria brags. She says, I went to the Cairo today when I didn't want to, and I survived it without tears. Got your back cracked. Nice.
Love it.
Chiropractic's crazy, man.
Sorry, who did you just read?
I read Victoria.
Victoria, I'm scrolling.
I think Anthony's the next one.
Scrolling. I may have scrolled too far.
They're kind of all right there. I can read Anthony's too.
Oh, yeah, I scrolled way too far. Yeah, go ahead and do Anthony's.
All right, Anthony, as a brag, he says, I survived a grueling week of work. I'm glad to make the live stream today. We're glad you made it too, Anthony. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Anthony. Ashley hopped in here with a brag. I'm trying something new today. Attending a Magic the Gathering competition today for the final fantasy release. I've never gone to one of these, and I'm looking forward to meeting new people. That
sounds fun.
Super cool.
And people are hyped for the Final Fantasy expansion. So get there early. Make sure you get in line.
I can read Skies. You did too. I'll do too.
Yeah, sure. That's fine.
Sky used a classic
opening
intro, which is, you know what's great about me? So I'm going to say it like this. You know what's great about Sky?
Tell
me. Sky said, I did a camp out dinner for my kiddos yesterday. That is super cool. We had a fire, roasted. Oh, I lost it. We had a fire, roasted hot dogs, and made some s'mores. Then we gazed at the stars. They also got to learn fire safety. And you know what's great about my cat? She gave birth to one itty bitty kitty and is a great mama.
That's a double brag. I love that.
That was a beautiful brag.
That's a great, Sky. You have such a fun life.
Yeah, what a rich person you are, Sky.
What a lovely moments you shared. That's so cool.
I feel like your kids will never forget. I mean,
that's like a core memory, right?
That is a core memory.
Yeah. Devora says, brag, I stuck out an entire week of intermittent fasting. Yeah, that stuff sucks. So good job. That's no fun.
Good for you.
Job. Yeah.
James pops in here. Brag, I've gotten to start working on some AI research projects at work. I'm exciting. It's exciting to be able to be at the forefront of research and possibilities. Yes, it is. That's a great brag. It is scary to think about. And I don't know. I've also been in the same boat, trying to learn as much as I can,
Mm-hmm.
trying to without freaking myself out. It is a delicate balance between like, how do I use this as a tool? And then
Yeah.
also not getting carried away with like, is the world going to blow up?
Yeah. If we have people like James leading the charge, I feel a little better about it.
That's
So
that's so true. That
yeah,
is James will save us all.
yeah, he'll save us.
Thanks, James.
Yeah. David says, Bragg, I've stuck to my sugar sodium rules this week. My foot seems to be healing faster, also with the Thera honey they prescribed last week. Someone suggested that earlier, but I have to use what they give me from wound care, so I'm glad they finally did. First week of new semester is going well, making sure I socialize with people, using my journal again. I keep drifting away. Currently on the academy now. Blue, by the way. Good job, David. Keep it up.
Yeah, I saw your post in the Hero Quarters actually about your journal, and I was like, dang, good for David. Proud of you. That's a good page. He's picked it back up in the cafeteria page of IMA.
Yeah,
Just
that's awesome.
my favorite ones. I like the tiled floor. Okay, Jeff Bragg cleaned the oven today. That
That's an awful thing
that's
to have to do.
that's a great
It's
brag.
one of those household chores no one wants to do.
Yeah,
So
that is staring down the face of a rough task.
yeah.
I don't want to spill too many beans, but I believe we put this as a side quest in a
Oh yeah.
deck that we redesigned somewhat
Yeah.
recently
Yeah.
that may or may not have to do with chores, maybe.
Nice.
But it won't be around for a while, so don't.
Yeah.
So okay,
Hector brags. I accomplished
Hector,
my
moving goal.
yeah.
20 squats every hour on the hour while at work for a whole week. That's a great brag and a really good challenge. Good for you, Hector.
Wow. Wakana's, you know what's great about me? Let's say what's great about Wakana. Let the record show. Through the mists of malaise crept in and the winds of, okay, my gosh. Winds of weirdness howled through the hills. I did not yield. I ventured deep into the resting glen. I need a better voice for this. I ventured deep into the resting glen, not in defeat, but in strategic withdrawal. A noble pause to mend and gather strength. For even the fiercest adventurers and heroes must sometimes sheath their swords and sip broth in soft blankets. Today I emerged not unscathed, but undefeated. Bruised, a little beat, but not broken. I bestow upon myself the following: the laurel of endurance for braving the storm of health trials with quiet courage, the medal of gentle comeback for the sacred art of taking it slow, still walking the path one step at a time, the cloak of kindness to self for allowing myself to rest and recognizing that recovery is part of the quest. That's beautiful, Wakana. I love the lore you put into your life. That is so cool.
That was incredible. Thank you.
Just to follow up for Skies, the mama's name is Midnight and the baby boy is named Nox Meowling Midnight Prince of Cuddles and Darkness. I think that's amazing. I think Nova Pax, the Witch of Letters, would approve of that name.
I was gonna say, yeah, that sounds a lot like Nova Pax.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Oh.
All right, what else?
Also, welcome, Links. Thanks for joining us.
I
think Nova Pax is next. Speaking of Nova.
Oh yeah, Nova Pax. You know why Nova Pax is so great? Nova said, I went on a big adventure for/with/as my inner child. I have a dissociative disorder. Dissociative disorder. So that can be a big deal with a lot of therapeutic benefits. That sounds intense and cool.
Yeah.
It honestly sounds a lot like the hero's journey, like that part of the journey. You have to go inward at some point.
Yeah. Look inside.
Beautiful.
Erica has one. Says not sure a brag. This is always a brag, Erica. Don't ever
Yeah,
preface it with not sure if it's a brag. It's always
that's
a
a
brag.
classic. That is a
Classic mistake. Rookie mistake. That's okay. We'll give you a pass this time. It's a brag. Here's a brag. I got to take a week off from work to de-stress and recharge. Didn't go anywhere, but went to the park by our local lake with my pup and just enjoyed the fresh air. That is a brag.
That's a
Great brag. You made Erica time. And that's what you needed, it sounds like.
Thank you, Erica, for being the guinea pig for this. But I will just say, if you are thinking to yourself, maybe you're sitting here and you don't want to type anything out, you're just listening, or you don't want to be in the guild. If you're thinking to yourself, oh, maybe that is a brag. Oh, no, that's not a brag. It is definitely a brag.
Yeah.
And I think that
we can pick on you, Erica. This is a good example. Thank you for being a good sport.
Yeah, the reason we do this is I think everyone has that little inner voice that's like,
self-doubt, right?
Yeah. You're not good enough. Like, don't share that. They'll think that's stupid. That's not. You got to ignore that. That's the inner voice that's the shadow. You don't want to do that. Share your brag. If you're proud about yourself for anything you can think of, it is a brag. So thank you, Erica. Sorry, we're not picking on you, but okay. Banny Bunch as a brag. Had a lot of fun with the kids this week, building a wooden monster truck. What? From a kit. That's so cool.
That's really cool.
Visiting friends and going for walks. Banny Bunch. That's a cool. I didn't know they made wooden monster trucks. That's incredible.
We built one.
Um,
Links. You know why Links is so great?
but
Because they said, I've written 2,000 words of my thesis this week and got myself a little plant as a reward. That's lovely.
that's
What kind of plant?
yeah. What kind of plant? Do we have a name for the plant?
I don't know. In the show Twin Peaks, Agent Dale Cooper says you should give yourself a small reward every day. And that sounds like he did this. He followed his wise advice.
Hmm.
Good for you.
Heather S. I found a crochet project just to do just for fun, right? And I'm not putting on a deadline on completing it, nor will I be selling it. Boundaries, woo hoo.
Make
That
something
is
just
great.
for you, Heather. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Protect your hobbies, good for your
Yeah.
brain. That's great. That's a fantastic brag.
It's a great brag. James has bragged too. You're allowed to brag more than once, by the way. Don't question it. You're allowed to do this. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to brag about old things because sometimes it's hard to celebrate the now, but I think it's important to remember great things you've done. It made me think of it. You know why? What's great? Sorry, I know what's great about me. Made me think of the acronym always throws me off. I got to test Call of Duty World at War and was one of the first people to see Nazi zombies game mode for the first time. That's fun.
Oh,
That's cool.
that's cool. You're like a part of like the
Gaming
cultural
history. Yeah.
guys. That's that's a really cool. I love that.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing, James. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. Link's
Uh,
follows up was a sunflower they got. That's a great reward. What a lovely reward of a plant.
did we get all the brags?
Suzanne says, I will be moving in a couple months and I arranged pickup to donate several items for an AIDS health charity, and the furniture is clean and ready for pickup. That's really nice, Suzanne.
These like incredible people in the chat today.
People are just really nice, don't we?
This is great. Yeah, Margaret hopped in here, said, did mini errands slash mini quests today in the 86-degree heat. Good
Yeesh.
for you. Getting those errands out of the way, being kind to your future self. You know what's so great about Joe?
Tell me.
Joe said, I beat a really difficult boss in Dark Souls 3 for the first time.
Yeah,
And
the
if
Souls
anyone who's
games
ever played a
are.
Dark Souls game,
Yeah.
that is a genuine brag.
Yeah, I still got to get back to the Elden Ring DLC. I bounced off it because I kept getting my butt kicked. And I was like,
It's a demoralizing
it's
effort.
so demoralizing. But once you do it, it feels like the best feeling in the world. So
Yes. See?
let's see if there's any other brags.
Uh,
Wakana has a nice thing. She says, the brag clock 100% has changed me for the better. I am one to always be so negative and think I did nothing, but since coming here, I've learned that all the brags will totally change perspective. That's what we hoped happens, Wakana. So thank you for saying so.
yeah.
That is lovely.
Hi, Kira. Yeah, what a good, period to put on the end of a brag o'clock.
That's a great way to cap it off. We got,
It's true. Now,
hang on, we got
the
last call for the Wheel of Names, friends. If you don't have your
last
name
call.
in the form, you better get your name in there because I'm about to put them in the wheel. And if your name's not in the wheel, you don't get to win something. The only way to win is to have your name in the wheel.
It's true.
How it is every week. We got a big 28 people this week. So we got a much fuller 29. Sorry, who got added? Oh, okay. Oh, some of you guys squeaked in. Okay.
Beautiful.
This is James. If you don't have the link, want to post it one more time, Nick, just so people have it?
Yeah. I think here, hold on. Maybe I can reply to your comment here, James. That should do it. Yeah, let me know if that works for you, James. I reply to you directly on Facebook.
When we get James in here, we'll be a clean 30. We have 29 entries right now. So
we have 34 or so viewers at the moment. So that's pretty full. It's a pretty full list. Hopefully, we don't have a repeat of last week.
yeah.
Okay, so the rules are before we spin this wheel. You have to drop something in the comments, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, anything to let us know that you are here. So that we can give you the email, you can email us, we can get your address, we can send you the thing. And if you don't claim it, then we can't give it to you. I'm gonna read another brag here from Julia. You know what's so great about me? This is Julia's words. I served / took pictures twice this week at church, and they turned out great. Fantastic brag.
Awesome.
Feels good to make art, to do good work.
I love that. That's so cool. All right. Do I have power to share my screen?
I
I
think
do. I have the power. We
getting
got a wheel. It's got some names. It's called the Wheel of Names. And if you're
names.
on it, we're going to spin it. We have 30 entries this week. 30 big entries. All right. Let's spin to
Great.
win.
Let's see.
Yep. 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 Here goes.
The winner of Regional
I
Friday
love seeing a full wheel.
is
Mel the Regal Raccoon. We have a raccoon in the chat.
Mel the Regal.
Mel the Regal Raccoon, if you are here, pop out of your trash can and let us know in the chat.
Yeah, come on. Come
Well,
on.
she's regal, so I don't want to like maybe that's like a really fancy like double wide dumpster they're in, not like a trash can because they're like the queen or king. Mel's a gender neutral name. It could be either way.
True.
Um, I'm not gonna put a gender on this raccoon. Mel, if you're here, say so in the chat.
Let us know.
Get your little raccoon paws on the keyboard and start clickety clacketing.
Congratulations to Mel the Raccoon.
Mm-hmm. Is it Melissa? Are you Mel the raccoon?
I
She
believe
says, I think I like my trash, thank you.
I do love claiming the free drill Friday win as a response, not saying, just being like
Just being like, yeah, I
coming
love
in,
my garbage. Thank you very much.
yeah,
You're the
coming
queen of
in.
it. That's
It
Melissa. Congratulations,
is.
Melissa. Thank you.
Congratulations to Melissa.
It's
I'm going to reply to you. Make sure and email support.
it's nice to have some raccoon representation in the chat. I don't know if you prefer to be called a garbage American or something, but like we love you. I didn't mean that you're garbage. It means that you live anyway. It's fine. I'm talking too much. Good job, Mel.
You're good.
I'm ill. It's fine.
Well, hey, that's a pretty successful free drill Friday live stream. If you ask me, I feel like, I feel like we're getting a lot more traction.
Yeah.
I'm having more fun. These are a little more condensed. So super exciting. Hey guys, thank you for making this live stream special. We had a meeting before this, and you should have seen Ryan. He was not happy to be meeting with me. And the moment we started live streaming, he perked up. So thank you.
I was plenty. I was in a great mood. What are you talking
I
about?
know, I'm just
I
kidding.
was fine.
It might be the medicine you took too, but
Yeah, I'm on
he
Dayquil,
got drugged
baby.
up really good.
Uh, yeah. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Happy Friday. Have a wonderful weekend.
Yeah, guys, have a really good weekend. Thank you for attending the live stream. It means a lot. It's not the same without you guys participating, sharing your stories about waiting in line, about bragging about your week, all the other stuff. And I only have one ask of you as you venture off into this weekend.
Yep.
Make sure in your mind, in your heart, when you're thinking about what you're going to do this weekend, whatever you do, whatever your quest, make sure in quest